now we've got Lee Denhum, your coach. I'm just going to ask him his thoughts from Saturday after beating Harrogate, who were top of the league, and of course, as we know, York were second. What's your thoughts then, Lee, about the game?
I thought it was a fantastic game of rugby, a decent game of real, proper, hard graft rugby. Harrogate are no slouches, a very good side, a very well drilled side. Luckily, we came out on the winning side of it all on Saturday. I was more than happy with the way we played. Obviously, they've got, like I say, I think we spoke about earlier on, they've got a very good catch and drive from a line out. Luckily, we managed to pen that in quite successfully. We were told that their scrummage was huge, one of their main things, and I think we dominated quite healthily on Saturday, which allowed us a bit of free rein. I think we played a lot of the rugby on Saturday. Don't get me wrong, we made a lot of mistakes and gave quite a few penalties away, which we've had chats with various players today.
Just to think about what they're doing.
Not let the emotions of the game get away with them, and just try and calm down a little bit. But all in all, I thought I was quite happy with the way we played as a team. There are areas that we can that we need to finesse a little bit. Again, we're a team that's still got a lot of young players in, and we're building nicely, I think.
So I've been down and watched your training tonight. How do you feel it's going? Number of players down and things like that.
It's like herding cats at the moment. We're getting ridiculously good numbers to train in. Obviously, in years gone by, we've had maybe 18, 20, 22 turning up to training regular. And this season, it seems to have pushed on a little bit. We had 37 to train in last Tuesday. This Tuesday, there's 34 outside, but we're also getting reasons why people are not training. We must have had about another 8 or 9 people contacting us, giving us reasons why they're not training.
Oh, that's good.
Because they know that they need to give us this information, so we've got a good idea of what sides what team we're going to be able to put out on a Saturday.
Thoughts for the rest of the season?
It's a long season.
We've
only played 8 games.
It only depends on injuries, doesn't it?
It does. We've only played 8 games, but luckily we've been quite successful in them. Played 8, won 6, lost 2. I think obviously the 2 games we lost, we could say that we were under strength, but it was the best team we could physically put out on the day. So unfortunately we can't be giving that as a reason that why we lost.
We just have this thing about Anik, I think.
Anik, they're a solid side at home. I think they may have picked up a few injuries when they played us, which would have caused some issues.
Then they seem to have a drop and they seem to be picking up again.
Yeah, they seem to have. They've had a couple of decent wins of late, I think they'll be coming back.
And the future of the club? Plenty of Colts coming through and things like that?
Yes. We obviously a lot of Colts from not last year but the year before are with us. Obviously we've got a good relationship with York University and York St John, so we've got quite a good number of people turned up. In fact, I think 2 new players just turned up tonight. Have just turned up, which has been really
It seems to be almost nearly every week. You say to me, we've got a new so-and-so turn up. Just coming up through the gates.
Exactly. So we've had a couple of phone calls. I'd like to come and play. So I mean, it's good for the club. Obviously, we've worked really hard on the whole being at the club. And how people interact with each other, etc. And it's really going quite well.
I must say, the president and chairman, everybody seems to be very involved in the club.
They are. They are very much involved.
Right, just a personal one here. If there was any law change, have you thought about what you would change?
Actually, yeah, I think the game was fantastic back in the early 90s when the back row were allowed to break off the scrum. It opened up. It opened a lot of back row moves and things like that. That have basically disappeared from the game now, rather than just a straight 8-man pick. Obviously, we've seen a lot more tap penalties coming back in now, and not trick moves as such, but ways to get themselves into areas without having to kick for a line out or kick for a first phase or a set piece. I think letting the back row, at least the 6 and 7 break off.
Have a bit more freedom.
But as long as they get bit behind the back foot, wouldn't be a problem. But the good at that point, it would equal up some of the teams. So if they've got a really strong pack, and it might depower some of the packs to allow for more games to be, for the ball to be in play for longer in the game. I think.
Yeah. Right. Well, we'll see what the end of the season brings.
Absolutely.
And Saturday,
always Saturday, isn't it? Yeah.
Sandal. So shall we go there?
We've not had a good time at Sandal, have we? No. We've not had a good time at Sandal. I'm hoping to have a much better time this time.
I'm going to go on the bus.
Yeah, me too.
Because I always end up going into Tesco's car park.
Yeah. Well, I'm again, Sandal. Wow, great side.
Yeah.
Steeped in history.
Yeah.
They're a wonderful outfit. They've got great coaches. They've got great. They've got a great club environment. I love what they did with their new scrummaging machine. They built a shed with an off the pitch scrummaging machine, which is all singing, all dancing. I want to have a go. I would love to have a bit of time on that. To be fair, I like Sandal as a club. Obviously, I think they thrived when Wakefield didn't. Now I'm looking forward to it. I always look forward to going to Sandal, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for giving up your time.
Cheers, Keith.
And we'll call it a night.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Right, this evening we've got Henry du Boulay with us, plays number 8 for York. Is that the correct pronunciation?
It is. That's spot on.
Right. So, just tell me, you were born in York.
Yep.
What area were you in?
Yeah, so I was born in York Hospital.
Right. I didn't mean as precise as that.
Sorry, too precise.
Yeah.
Born in York, and I've lived just outside of York ever since.
Right. And your first schooling and everything, going up through schools, what school were you?
Started at Craik actually.
Right.
That was primary school. Then I moved over to Easonwood School for a little bit.
Right.
Then I ended up at Cundle Manor.
Right.
Cundle Manor up until year 11, did GCSEs there, and then I moved to Bishop Burton, where I spent the last 2 years. Finished there at the start of last summer, and that's where I am now.
Right. So, when did you start playing rugby?
So I started here at York at the age of, I can't exactly remember, it was between 4 and 6. I remember playing out in front of the clubhouse. I don't know how many years ago that is now. That's 14 years, sorry, not 4 years. Played at York ever since, came up to the Colt programme, played up at, I was about 16 and I played in the Colts. That was around COVID time. That's when I started to push on a bit with rugby. After that, didn't play for York for about 2 years when I went to Bishop Burton. Really went after my rugby there for the last 2 years. Next I'm off to Australia, but had a little bit of a couple months period what I needed to fill in, and I thought where better to go back to my roots, and I came back to York, and it's been the best time for the last 2 months.
Right. So why York in the first place?
Well, originally, it was the local club. It was almost going to say catchment area, but that was near to me. It was 25 minutes down the road, and it was just, I didn't know so much about the club at that age. Obviously, I don't know what my parents knew about the club, but it was a well-known club. It was a well-respected club, and it was the
Did
local
your dad
club.
play rugby?
Yeah, he did a little bit growing up, and he went to boarding school and he did all that.
Right.
Played a little bit at university, but never anything serious. I don't think he ever played for a club, just within schools.
And you played some sevens during the summer as well?
Yeah, so after I finished Bishop Burton, went and played for Samurai Sevens for a little bit, did a few tournaments for them. It's good fun in sevens. Not quite the build for it, but I did all right. And finished off. That was my pre-season as such, and then found myself here.
Proper training then.
Yeah, came back to some real rugby.
So, you missed the first game against Alnwick, didn't you? And then started after that.
Yeah, so they played Alnwick on the Saturday, and then I joined the next Tuesday.
So you've only been in one losing team since you came?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, played your last game on Saturday against Harrogate. Where are you going next?
So off to Australia, the Bright Lights of Sydney. Go there in about a week's time.
Right.
To play a bit of rugby.
So who are you playing with down there?
So I've just signed a contract with North, so it's Northern Suburbs, but just abbreviated to North. So in the north of Sydney. So yeah, just signed a contract / agreement with them for the next year, pretty much.
So they're playing the Sheep Shield?
So Shoot Shield.
Shoot Shield, right. Which is similar to our championship.
Yeah, so they've got, originally I'm going out to play in under-21s, which their under-21s is Colts. So they've got like an under-21s Shoot Shield league, and then they've got the senior team league. So I'm going to go start in the under-21s and see how that goes, and hopefully progress into that men's senior side.
So just for anybody that doesn't know, how do you get fixed up in Australia? One, getting a club, two, getting digs, probably a job.
So there's quite a lot online nowadays. I was lucky, the way I went through it is my coach knew the coach out there.
Right.
So my coach at Yorkshire knew the head coach at Norse, and they'd grown up together or coached together previously.
Yeah.
So that kind of put me in good steads. But there's a lot of stuff now, whereas online you can a lot of the stuff you can almost apply for
yourself.
Where I'm going is they've got the stuff on Instagram. Obviously you wouldn't see it unless, because obviously with them being in Australia, but they have things, posts they put out just saying, we've got pre-season, get yourself down. It's as easy as that.
So you're going from November to September next year?
Yeah, September next year, around then. That's when the contract officially ends. I might stay for a bit longer, I don't know. But
and then you might come back to York unless somewhere else finds you attractive.
There's potentially a few things in the pipeline, as they say. I'm not setting anything yet, but this next year is a big decider for me for what I want to actually do with my rugby. So, but at some point I'll definitely be back down here.
And you played a little bit of cricket and basketball as well?
Yeah, I did all that stuff when I was younger. But no, rugby's the only one that stuck. So I soon got rid of the other ones.
Right. If there was one law in rugby, what would you change?
Yeah, so it obviously doesn't affect me being a forward, but when when you're running back and forward and they're playing kick tennis and they decide to kick it straight out on the full, and then you have to take it back to where you kicked it from and have a scrum, it's like, we're just running back and forth, you do the nice little bit of kicking and we'll do the hard work. And
well, backs and forwards again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, we've just gone to a few personal things now. What's your favourite music?
We went for the modern pop, I think it's called. I couldn't exactly put the point, but I think that's what it's classed as.
So, favourite food?
Favourite food, steak and chips.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Your favourite film?
Jason Bourne.
Right.
First one. I couldn't tell you exactly what it's called, I've forgotten, but there's quite a few of them. They're all pretty good.
Right. Favourite TV?
Don't watch much TV, so I don't have a programme. I'll bash out a bit of Netflix. But,
right.
But no, nothing on live TV.
Right. Favourite car?
Oh, it has to be my pickup outside. Green Isuzu D-Max, absolutely gorgeous.
Right. So, and what was it like when you first came down to York a couple of months ago? How did you feel?
Yeah, well, I was a little bit. I don't like to think I get nervous. I'm quite a confident person, but it's quite a daunting thing to go down to any club. It was my first bit of senior men's rugby.
Okay, yeah.
I hadn't played it. I did a bit sevens, which was men's, but it's a different kind of game, really.
Yeah.
So to come down and I got stuck in straight away. The lads, everyone introduced himself, and it was just. Again, I didn't know particularly much about the club, but when I got down here, I soon learned that it's a big family.
Yeah,
They properly look after me and cracking jokes immediately, giving you nicknames and things like that. And I feel like I've been here for so long, and I've been, as cliche and cringy as that sounds, but I've only been here about 2 months.
Well, you've been here for ages.
Yeah.
This might be a difficult one to answer, but is there anybody that you look up to in the club?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm going to underline it as everyone. I just like how everyone is together as a team and how they all bounce off each other, they play for each other. And there's no one that goes out thinking, I'm going to score this winning try, I'll score it.
Yeah.
It's the team's going to do it, the team's going to do this, the team's going to do that, and then we celebrate as a team after. And I think that, the whole bravado and almost brotherhood of everyone together, it means I can't look up to that one person. Right. It's got to be everybody.
Now, how you answer these next two could depend how you're greeted when you come back.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I know.
What's the food like after the meal?
Sublime.
After the game,
Perfect.
rather.
Perfect. It couldn't be any better.
Right.
Spot on. Exactly what you need.
All right, that's enough. And the other one, what's the beer like?
Oh, brilliant. Class. Can't beat it. Plenty of options. Some different options besides the beer if you're feeling a bit goofy. But yeah, plenty to choose from and plenty of it.
Right. Well, thanks for giving up your time for us.
No worries.
And have a good time in Aussie.
I will.
Okay. So, that's it for now. We'll now go on to forecasting next weekend's games.
Up the green and black. Come on, fellas. Here we go. Nat 2. Come on. Ooh.